Welcome to another video of Save My Assets.
Yeah, we're going to answer your questions that you've given us via video because we don't have time to be writing them out.
Right.
And sometimes they're very difficult to answer a question without hand gestures or,
Pointing
illustrations, and I ain't got time to write all
Inanimate
that.
objects.
Right, exactly. So we have a few that we're going to do. I think there's actually 4.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with the first one. This one's really simple. This is from Missy Knoll. She says, very informative, thank you. I am redoing a chair we just found at a thrift store and there is no J-Cron over the foam in the cushion. Does this mean it's a junky chair? That's the first question. So right off the bat, that doesn't mean it's a junky chair, and why not?
No, it doesn't mean it's a chunky chair.
Chunky. Chunky.
No, it doesn't at all because the Dacron doesn't really add any quality to the cushion. It just adds a crown, is what it is. It's impossible for Dacron or batting. I think Dacron's the name brand. Batting is what we're really talking about.
Poly batting.
Poly batting. It's not going to support anything. That's just basically, it gives a nice feel. It does. You know, you know what it replaced? It replaced cotton.
Yeah.
That's what they did years ago. Even with some foam rubber, because now we use polyurethane. With foam rubber, they would put sometimes a layer of cotton over top of it to give it a nice feel. So that's all it's really replacing. It just went from oil derivative, I guess is the right word, or product, oil byproduct. It went to an oil byproduct from cotton.
Right, so it's basically just to fill in a little space to make it look nice.
It gives a nice soft feel, gives it a crown. So it's not junky.
No, it's not junky. And the main thing is, most likely what you have right now is a layered foam. So you have a harder core in the center,
You could have
which we have an example right here, a harder, denser core, or with more compression.
Yeah.
Because density doesn't really matter in this case, but with a more of a compression right here,
Right.
and less compression on the other ones on the outside, which just is the exact same thing as Dacron, because Dacron or poly batting doesn't really have any compression. It's basically air.
No, it is. I remember one time a guy said years ago, "What's Dacron?" And you know, he's sarcastic. He was an upholsterer, so I kind of got it. Maybe you don't get it, but I mean, it hit me home. You know, I knew exactly what he meant. What's Dacron? Because people are like, "Oh, you need Dacron." You know, not really.
No.
You know, it does have its purpose. But like Grant was saying, these 2 outer layers here, this is actually better. I would take this any day over Dacron because these 2 outer layers of soft foam, this is for a dining seat, is going to outlast Dacron. Dacron gets matted and pushed down in no time.
It can get torn too, where it starts moving to the back of the cushion if you're, scooting out of the cushion or whatever.
Can. So this gives its crown, just like your Dacron's doing, meaning these 2 layers of foam, and it's not junky.
Yeah, and then the final part that she said is that the foam is yellowish. Should it be replaced? Thank you for your videos. Why does it become yellowish? It's just because it gets exposed
It gets exposed to light,
Yeah.
So it doesn't keep out your fabric, doesn't keep out 100% light UV rays, so it just starts to discolor in light. So the difference between polyurethane, real quick, and foam rubber is when foam rubber, the first original stuff exposed to light, eventually it oxidizes and it turns like a brick.
Yeah, and then it starts turning into sand.
Yeah, it crumbles because the sand was a byproduct of that. Now, polyurethane being an oil byproduct, it does not crumble, it doesn't turn into a brick, but it loses its shape.
Right, after a little while it gets matted down. And we showed you in one video.
Where the rubber didn't do that.
Right.
It wouldn't lose its shape, it would keep its shape.
Until it turns into a brick.
Exactly.
So we showed you in one video how to revive that with some steam for
Polyurethane. Yeah.
So that's one question. Hopefully that answered your question, Missy.
So it's not junk. You don't need to get a new piece of foam or a seat cushion if you find it comfortable and you like it.
Okay, let's find the next one. Next one is, where do you get Dacron or batting for the correct size? And where do you order foam pillows? And when she says foam pillows, I'm assuming that she's saying foam inserts for like seat cushions, because that is based off of the video that she watched.
I think so. So let's do the first part. Where do you get the foam?
Dacron.
Where is she? Yeah,
Right here.
Dacron. Okay, or batting. Okay. Well, you can get that at many places. There's a place called Rowley. It's Rowley. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it at a local upholstery shop. Hopefully they'll sell some to you. They generally don't sell their supply, but they might.
Now, she was talking about correct size. Now, as
And
far as
there's Joann fabrics too.
and Joann fabrics.
If it's in your neighborhood.
As far as I understand, the size doesn't really vary too much when it comes to width. I mean,
It's 27 and 30 inches, pretty standard. It's also can go 54 inches wide.
which we have here, but that's usually for commercial use, right?
It's for commercial use, and that's a 1/4 inch thick, and that's just basically to refresh furniture, like the inside back, the inside arms. You put a fresh new layer over top, then you put your top cover fabric.
Okay,
top fabric.
so you mentioned thicknesses. What would be a good thickness for her to use on like a seat cushion?
I'd say an inch.
An inch?
Yeah, an inch is good for seat cushions because it gives you that nice crown. But like I said, it's not going to give you support. Well, that was another client. That was another.
That's funny, but
doesn't
it
matter.
still applies.
Yeah, my bad.
That's funny. In any case, also...
It's just going to give you a nice crown. I'd do 1 inch thick.
She asked where to go ahead and get the foam inserts. With foam inserts, I think Joann still does offer it.
Yeah, they do. It's nationwide. I think you might be in America, United States. So you might have one in your neighborhood.
Right, so you can go ahead and check
We
out
do.
there.
I
There's
don't
some.
use it, but-
You can also go to local reupholstering shops because
Yeah.
they will have it, and they will be happy to go ahead and replace the inserts. Now,
Yeah.
maybe you don't want to do it for the cost, but you can try to make a deal with them and see if they can just sell you the foam itself, and you go ahead and cut it at home.
And follow the directions in the video that we have. Was that from that video?
Was of us cutting it down?
down, the
No,
foam.
we didn't cut it down in that video. We ordered it to size.
All right. Well, we have one where we cut. I
Yeah,
think. So,
somewhere.
Yeah, it's out there. It shows you how to cut it yourself. You'll save a little bit of money.
Yeah.
Okay. Follow the directions in the videos when it comes to seat cushion foams. That's all we're trying to get across. So we hope we are getting
Yeah.
that across.
Hopefully.
Did that answer her question?
I think so. And then we have one other one. This was another one. This was really quick. What is that? Izzy? Yeah, that's Izzy.
I think it's Izzy.
Izzy Luna. Okay.
Yeah.
So she asked, what kind of glue do you use? Now, this was for the drapery window treatment. Actually,
Right.
it was just a window treatment. It wasn't a drape.
That's one Nicole did.
Yeah, it was Roman shade. That's what it was.
Yeah,
okay.
it's Roman shade.
So as for the Roman shade
We don't
video,
do those, so.
no, we don't. So in any case, it's basically fabric glue. And if you look in
Right.
the bottom of the description in that video in particular, there is a link for fabric glue there. You can go ahead and just search fabric glue on Amazon. You can find it as well.
Yeah, this is a glue that we have. Our tub broke, so I ended up putting it in this small, I think this was like Chinese food or something. It was rice or
It's
something.
good Chinese food.
Yeah, it's pretty good. So we put it in here, and we had a whole gallon in it, So,
Chinese food?
Yeah, pretty much. But you know what? Let me tell you. You know what's something funny? It's really Elmer's glue. I'm almost positive. Well, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't say that, but I'm telling you, it's very close to Elmer's glue. There was a guy that I knew was awesome. I mean, he was in his mid-60s. He was truly an excellent upholsterer.
A master.
He really was. And this guy was really good. And I was getting in the business, and I'm looking at his
like,
techniques.
oh, grasshopper.
Yeah, right. And he's gluing down some GAMP or trim. And I said, so what kind of glue is that? And he goes, Elmer's. So I said, okay. So I'm thinking he's got some kind of great
Special
connection.
glue or whatever.
If it sticks, it
works.
stays.
That's right. I think there's one other client here or person that wants the little information. Okay, here. It says, what if cushion is connected together? This is, I think it's Sheila Smith. So Sheila Smith, it says, what if cushion is connected together, but zipper on back of the two cushions? Now, again, this is for the seat cushion replacement video for the foam inserts that we did. And we do run into this a good amount where the seat cushion is attached and there's only a zipper in the back. Unfortunately, there's two options that you have. You can either, one, muscle it in and try to get it in there, or number two, we're gonna go ahead and put a link to your comment. And with all these comments, we're gonna let you know that we commented through this video and leave you a link to this video for your answers.
Well, I have a question real quick.
Please.
Is she saying these are attached seat cushions?
I think so. There's not much information to this.
Yeah, so we don't know if it's attached back cushions, because sometimes you have attached backs and underneath you have a zipper.
Right.
And if you have a zipper, that's great with attached backs, because some of them don't have a zipper. So just like Grant said, you're just going to have to open it up and muscle it. Okay, but if it's attached to your seat cushion, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to get that in there.
And that's why we suggest to go ahead and we're going to put a link
like
in
that,
there
yeah.
from Amazon. It is what's called, I don't have it up anymore, but it's called basically.
It's like a silk film.
It's a silk film to wrap around. It's a vacuum sealed silk film to wrap around your cushions. And you take your vacuum, you vacuum it down.
It goes right on down.
And then that just makes it easier to get in there because it will be firmer, but it's not as large. And then as soon as you get it in there, you pull out the vacuum, You try to get the
Pull
vacuum,
out the silk film as much as you can,
possible.
but if not, it's so thin you're not even going to feel it.
No, and they call it silk film for a reason. It really does. It's so silky. It's kind of weird.
It's a little weird. It's like a little floaty.
It's like, yeah.
So that'll definitely work very well. So we wish you the best on that one. Some things are just the way they build them. I wish they wouldn't because they're not sustainable.
And they're not easy to work with.
That's what I should say. Yeah. Well, some of them aren't sustainable. So
No.
both of them. All
Yeah.
right.
So basically, try to keep it if you can. If you can't, we understand if you have to get rid of it. But we're glad at least you're trying to
Yes.
hold on to your furniture. That is very important.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's all the questions for today.
All right, so we hope this answers your questions. We're sorry if it didn't, but
Yeah.
we're doing what we can, and we're very glad you asked the question.
Yeah, and please follow up. If you have any other questions, we'd be happy to go ahead.
Yeah, or
and make
maybe we
another
didn't
one.
understand the question.
Yeah. If you had anything else, you're like, oh no, it's this and that, we'll go
try to
ahead and
clarify
send
it
it
for you.
again, and we'll go ahead and
Yeah.
check it out.
So the questions are cool.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll see you next time on Save My Assets.
Let's do it.
See you.